Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of That's a Wrap. My name is Austin Jameson, and I will be the researcher for today. Joining me is
Anthony Gentry. Hello.
all right. Today, are we going to talk about? We have a couple of trailers.
Yeah, we
to
have
note
a
on.
lot of trailers to talk about.
Yes, and then our main topic, of course, is Death on the Nile, new murder mystery film.
Yeah, sequel to Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes. So we have a few things to look forward to. Well, I think something I've been avoiding, or I'm going to start in the trailer, the first one, to get right into it, is the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie.
With John Mulaney and Andy Samberg, with The Lonely Island, producing, kind of making it.
You texted me 30 minutes ago, or probably an hour, if I'd watched it.
Yeah.
The answer then was no, and then because I clicked on it whenever you sent it to me a night ago, and I saw what it was. I didn't want to.
No.
I did not want to. I thought.
Do you have a history with Chip and Dale, first off?
I do have a personal story, when I went to Disney when I was a 2-year-old, but I don't think that's appropriate for the show.
Okay. I guess you can tell me afterwards.
Yeah, I will.
I've never seen any Chip and Dale thing.
Mm-hmm.
The most I saw of them, I don't even think it was them. It was... No, I'm thinking of Huey, Dewey, and Louie from DuckTales.
And I mean, in the trailer, it's like another kind of Roger Rabbit movie where okay. Well, first of all, I clicked on the link. It opened the thing. I saw it. Immediately shut it down. My first gut reaction, I thought it was Alvin and the Chipmunks. I thought they were doing another one of those.
Yeah.
But a millisecond after the shock faded, it was okay, I still don't care.
I really like the trailer.
Now that I've seen the trailer, I am more willing to give it a chance.
It seems like they're blending a lot of animation styles, which looks really cool.
I do agree. I agree. I think it is neat. Yeah. I think it's... I've not seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I haven't either.
We're really...
I know, yeah.
Every
Maybe we
episode,
shouldn't admit these things.
I agree. It's I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love it.
It was such a great movie.
Yeah,
Christopher Lloyd.
That's the trilogy for Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, put it all. Anyways, we'll get to that later. It looks okay.
For me, it reminds me of how Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who did 21, 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
And then they transitioned to the Lego Movie and The Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of something like that, to where it's a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made by these people who have done more adult content.
Yeah.
Because The Lonely Island
it definitely
has done Palm Springs, which is a movie that came out on Hulu last year. It's really good. It's really charming. Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping. We watched that.
I did not finish it.
We didn't.
We got through 30 minutes of it on a break, and I never touched it again.
But I really enjoy that movie, and so it kind of reminds me of that. When they went to Lego Movie and things like that.
It definitely has that kind of
where it has it does
it's
feel
evolved.
More adult edge to it, but it's still a kids movie, which really excites me.
I want to see Chip and Dale swear.
They might. Who knows?
I want to see an R-rated Disney, traditionally PG franchise go completely over the top.
Well, I mean, one of the characters had an addiction. But it was to cheese. That was the joke.
Yeah.
But I loved the ending when they were in the area of town with the weird 3D animation, and they made fun of cats.
Yeah.
And
my God.
Seth Rogen just came in, and I love how, I forget if it was Chip or Dale, but the one who's 3D now.
Okay.
I also love it. Plastic surgery, 3D.
Yeah.
And his animation is kind of good, but then you go to Seth Rogen's character, and it's bad.
Right.
And it was so intentional, and I thought it was so good.
I think there's gonna be a lot of post-production jokes like that.
And
I think that will be enjoyable.
That's why I'm excited for it.
Is it straight up the same universe? I feel like I am not aptly prepared to talk about this, noting that we haven't seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
But I take it as the Muppets where like in their movies they're in the real world and the Muppets are real, and in this movie like Roger Rabbit, it's the real world, but the animated like cartoons are actually like real like actors doing parts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna say it seems neat.
It does seem neat.
It is hanging on by a thread. I can't really explain why, but I just don't have any interest in it.
Yeah.
Outside of what I've been shown in the trailer.
Okay.
So I'll just like let that cook and let that simmer in the background.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go all in on it. Say like this is my most anticipated.
Yeah.
But I think it has potential, especially with like Andy Samberg and his team behind it.
True. Like, also like noting on that with John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. I mean, at least I've never been like followed John Mulaney. I know he has some controversy in his past as well, but Andy Samberg.
I haven't seen anything for Andy Samberg.
He's solid. Or he's funny as well. So I think is he the 3D one or the? I think he's the 3D one.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, it comes out in May. Disney
really?
Plus
Already?
Yeah.
Also, I was surprised it was a movie. I thought that was going to be like a little series they were going to.
Oh yeah, it's just going to be straight up movie.
Let me see if I can find what I want to slightly go to next. Oh, here we go. All right. So, as you know, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is getting closer.
Yes,
where
they made a few announcements.
They did. I forgot about it. I didn't even text you about this. I just remembered it. They've already confirmed a third movie and a Knuckles spin-off.
With Idris Elba.
Yes.
And it's a TV show.
Yeah, on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So
that's the sad part.
Before your eyes, everyone, you are seeing a Sonic Cinematic Universe.
The SCU.
Be grown.
And you know what? I'm here for it.
I'm absolutely it's a weird it's like a weird kind of, because the first one did good. I just don't want them to do too much and then ruin themselves, because like 2 looks great so far.
Yeah,
I think they're digging super into the actual like Sonic lore of it, and they're just like
the Sonic lore.
Exactly. They did their research. They got the green Chaos Emerald. They got like Eggman with his now like traditional bald big mustache.
Yeah.
I think they're going in a really good direction. We have Tails and Knuckles now.
I hope John Marston still has a good part in it.
I hope so,
because he's barely in the trailers.
That's what I'm wondering, if like they're hiding him, or if like he's just going to be on a lake in a little kayak giving inspirational advice.
Do you think Sonic will still be severely depressed as he was in the first one?
He flossed in the first one. What do you mean depressed? How can you be depressed and do a floss dance, bro?
I mean, you saw that movie.
Yeah, he had some things to work through.
Yeah.
However, I think Tails is gonna help him. I think that's gonna. It's so odd to me that they got the game like original voice actor for Tails.
Yeah, and then
nobody
Elba,
else.
Ben Schwartz.
Right. It's weird, but I feel like, I don't know. I'm really happy because Tails' voice is like ingrained in your skull if you've played any of the games. Knuckles. I mean, Sonic and Tails. I think Sonic probably would have benefited from being Roger Craig Smith, but
yeah, I can see that. Ben Schwartz does a good job though. I like him. John Ralphio.
He's all he's all right, and I look forward to seeing how Idris Elba will be. Because right now I hear Idris Elba. Yeah. I do not hear Knuckles.
I want your power.
Do we have Idris Elba in the studio right now? Everybody, Idris Elba. Anyways,
we're the Suicide Squad.
I have watched a little. I don't know if we've talked about Peacemaker. I watched a little bit more.
You did? Okay.
I'm on like episode. I think I finished episode 3.
Okay.
Maybe. Is that far enough where I can talk about like spoilers to?
Yeah, they released the first 3 episodes on its like premiere date.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Because I met the little, I don't remember the name, the bodyguard, the like
Judo Master.
Yes. And I finished that episode where like I don't know any of their names. the funny guy with the computer guy like beats him.
Oh, Diebeard.
Yes.
He's like John Economos. Yeah, but
I have no idea.
I really like this show. I think it's just so fun.
It's something. It is. I mean, it is James Gunn.
Yeah, but just wait till that 4th episode because it's probably one of the best episodes they have.
Mm-hmm.
But then it starts getting emotional.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you don't think it's gonna come, and
that is James Gunn like style where it's like super silly giant Pac-Man, and then it's like
he may have been your father,
right.
but he ain't your daddy.
It's like, damn, I didn't expect to cry. Vigilante is also every character in this show could just be described as something. Mm-hmm. Like
I was so on Vigilante at first, but then, like I said, the 4th episode, he really shines in that.
Interesting.
Do you like him so far?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Like he does just kind of give like
he does seem like that idiot
vibe,
sidekick character, but then he's not.
Interesting.
He kind of is.
I feel like some of these scenes, man, like the last one that I remember is him getting interrogated, or like Peacemaker getting interrogated, but like Vigilante getting the one who's like,
and John Cena's like, do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. But do you want to talk about any of the other trailers?
We have Doctor Strange, and then what else?
Jurassic World,
right?
And Nope.
Right. Okay.
I think we can talk about Nope first.
Okay.
Just because there wasn't much to talk about.
Yes.
It's the new movie by Jordan Peele.
Yes.
Director and writer of Get Out and Us.
I want to watch Us. I watched Get Out.
Yeah.
And
I really like both of those. I think Get Out is obviously the stronger movie. But Us creeped me out more than Get Out. But I also knew. I watched Get Out late, so I kind of knew what was going to happen. So I think that's also why.
Well, right now I know nothing about Us, so hopefully if I watch that, I'll like get a good experience. But Nope. I forgot the conversation I had with somebody, but I began asking someone. I was like, "Hey, have you seen the new trailer for the new Jordan Peele movie?" And he was like, "Nope." And I was like, oh."
We were even texting, and you said, "Do you want to talk about Doctor Strange and any other trailers?"
And you said, "Nope," and Jurassic World. It's like, what? I thought we talked about the MCU every episode. What happened to that?
But I thought this was a really good trailer, just because I am intrigued, and I still know nothing about the movie. It looks like Aliens, which it kind of excites me for like a Jordan Peele alien movie.
I don't think this is. I just read this. This is what people theorize about the significance of the title.
Oh yeah.
Is people think it stands for? I guess spoiler if you don't want to. Well, we already said aliens, not of planet Earth. So maybe that's significant. Maybe it's not. I imagine
think it makes sense.
It is, but I do agree that like with these movies, the best thing you can do is go in blind, and so like if you have to watch the trailer and you can't really avoid it. They did a good job of hiding like what it's really about.
Like even the beginning with the horse like company, how they were saying we've been here since the dawn of cinema. I wonder how that's going to tie in, and I'm really interested to see how it will.
It like at least for Get Out, like it was a good film, like visually and like appealing in like writing, and I just look forward to seeing what they do.
Yeah, that comes out, I think, June.
I have no idea.
One of those J months.
July 22nd.
Okay.
So we got a lot of stuff, like, right on the horizon.
Yeah.
As soon as we finish our freshman year and then can't talk about it over summer. Unless
we get together and
like open. Or we just, like, record it like we did for the Spider-Man episode.
True. We can talk about that later. Next one, do you want to talk about Jurassic World next? Because I feel like the big one is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we can get through Jurassic World.
How did you feel about the last few Jurassic Worlds? Yeah.
That
I enjoyed the first Jurassic World, and I enjoyed the second one. Of course, there was a lot of goofy stuff, like the spoiler alert, clone girl. I thought that was so dumb.
Oh God, yeah.
But you know what? I had a good time with it. But this one looks so good to me.
Interesting.
It feels like they're finally fulfilling on their promise of a Jurassic World.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay. fair enough.
And you're finally seeing them out of the park, out of this weird little mansion in the world, like interacting with people, animals. How like they talk about they're now the apex predator. I'm really excited to see this.
I'm not as excited to see this,
and I understand that.
The first movie, I think I was young enough to be like, dinosaurs, sick. I was not like Jurassic Park. I was never really attached to.
Oh,
but then Jurassic World came out, and it was like the like Star Wars vibe. It's like new generation, like can now appreciate this franchise. You slap Chris Pratt on there. You slap the kid from Iron Man 3, and then boom, franchise. You got a Velociraptor with a little blue stripe on its face. Yeah. You got toys galore.
Oh, there's so many toys from Blue. And now Baby Blue, so many plushies.
Is there a Baby Blue?
Did you watch the trailer?
Is that a new Blue? Is that not the same? I forgot, bro.
That's Blue's baby.
Okay, well, listen. I know I watched the second film.
No, but it wasn't just in the trailer for the new one.
Okay. However,
going off our theory last week that we don't
feel like I watched
the
second film. I know I did, but all I remember is the trailer stuff from it.
Like
everything else is such a blur,
up,
and them rolling down in the ball.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I
remember. What was his name?
Chris Pratt.
No,
he's Mario.
He is Mario, but he was in Detective Pikachu.
Like the person who played Pikachu?
No, the main guy
who played Pikachu.
Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you.
But the other, I forget his name. I think like maybe like Justice Smith.
Yeah, you're right, Justice Smith.
Justice Smith. I remember his very weird scream that sounded like a dinosaur. It was so. I don't know how he was able to do that.
Yeah.
But props to him. I remember that, and the clone girl, and then they let out like 16 dinosaurs, and now it's.
Yeah, like just whatever.
But you know what? I don't care about that. It's for me, the first one is a masterpiece. I love that movie.
I think the first one is where they're peaking. I don't know if this one will beat it.
Yeah.
I think this one will be better than the second.
Yeah.
The second was definitely just a sleeper movie.
Have you seen all of the Jurassic Parks?
No. I have not seen the original. Or I think I might have seen the first one. I don't think I've seen any of the sequels to the first one.
Okay. Second one's all right. I actually really like the third one. I remember like growing up, I had the disc of that, so I just watched it a lot.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have, because they leaned into the horror for that one, and it got creepy for a little 6-year-old.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I did. Yeah. I feel like everybody.
Okay.
I don't know if this is your opinion, but from what I've seen online and just like the general idea is that everybody's slowly moving against Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I think people are getting tired of him.
He's in a lot, to be fair.
Yeah,
he's Mario. Does
Mario,
he need to be Mario?
Right. You could have give. I appreciate that Jack Black is at least in it, but imagine Jack Black as Mario or like.
No, I think he's a good fit as Bowser.
No, absolutely, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really. If you're thinking like English adaptation of a Mario movie, I don't think Chris Pratt comes to mind first. I don't know who necessarily does, but it's a weird ground, and I feel like Chris Pratt's... Isn't he Garfield? And another, like...
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Or is that a joke?
I don't think that was a joke. I think he's actually Garfield.
Oh, no, he is. Yeah, he is. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so he's just stealing, like, all of the animated role... Like, every role... and all of your favorite like characters from as a kid are slowly falling into his pockets.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about him, like him personally, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think like he's slowing down in terms of his popularity.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's Jurassic. What's this one called?
Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also excited to see everyone back. Like all the original characters.
True.
But yeah, we can move on now.
If they're gonna let's see if they learn from Star Wars.
Oh no, they're not.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking
one of the
of
dinosaurs
a Disney,
is going to be Alan Grant's son. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do. Moving on.
That's gonna be Chris Pratt in blue. Okay. His stripe's gonna turn red. Anyways, for real this time, we're going to move on to probably the most significant trailer that came out. Right at the beginning of the probably biggest Super Bowl spot at the beginning. Is where I saw it first.
Yeah, one of the only trailers for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get a Kenobi trailer. They dropped a poster for it, and then nothing.
Yeah.
So
comes out May though.
There was a commercial with you. Well, it comes out the trailer has to come out before that because it was May 7th is the
May 29th.
Okay, I think we'll get a I don't think they'll wait.
We probably will, but yeah.
Anyways,
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. Sam Raimi is doing this.
You got cool. It's Doctor Strange digital effects.
Patrick Stewart. Did you see that?
Unconfirmed.
It was. Come on, it was his voice.
I don't know. It could have been
head. It looked like
Mr.
His head.
Clean. Yeah, no. There's a lot of theorizing going on with every single inch of that trailer. There's a lot.
Wanda is kind of confirmed to be a villain. If not secondary villain.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like Mordo is going to be the. Well, honestly, let's just break everything open. If you don't want to hear about Doctor Strange or MCU, you don't want to theorize, you want to go in blind.
Yeah.
I tune out at least for about probably 5
minutes.
Well, noting us 20, but 5 minutes should work.
We do have to get to the review soon.
True.
But maybe 5 minutes.
Yes. I saw something the place that Doctor Strange is brought with the shackles is in the comics the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And so that's where people think that we're going to see a Tony Stark,
Tom Cruise. They also think we'll see Reed Richards.
Yeah. And then Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier.
I almost said Magneto.
And then it's the Illuminati exist as this culmination of the smartest minds in the multiverse, universe, whatever. And they think Doctor Strange in the MCU is causing too much havoc, and so he gets brought in, and he's blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's what people think.
I think it's weird because it does feel like it's centering off the events of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how it will.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going into spoilers for that, but just based off the ending, I'm not sure how, but they'll figure it out of the way.
I think it is going to get really wacky. I really look forward to Sam Raimi behind an MCU project. I think,
it looks like he is bringing
technically
a Sam Raimi style.
Spider-Man 1 is the first MCU film now, but did he direct he directed all 3.
He directed all 3.
So this is his 4th project.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's gonna be pretty neat. I wish I could turn off my eyes and mute any spoilers or I wish I could not watch the trailer, but I'm going to see it, and I'm going to see people talk about it.
But even in the trailer, we just got a bunch of cool effects.
Mm-hmm. We have American Chavez. Who did you see the person in the trailer who's looks like the Captain Marvel digital effects, but definitely isn't Captain Marvel?
I hear people think it's Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel.
I saw a lot of people also say people are going crazy.
They are going crazy over this trailer.
People think it could be Kang. People think
that
it's Mordo. People think that it's actually Tony Stark.
I think they're saving Kang for Ant-Man.
I think so too.
And Loki season 2.
Mm-hmm. But that one character, nobody knows who it is, and so they're all freaking out. I could see Monica coming back in this form, especially with the presence of Wanda.
Yeah,
there is the scene that we got a long time ago where it's Doctor Strange asking Wanda for help and what she knows about the multiverse, and then other scenes now shown in this trailer shows that this is a spoiler as well.
It was kind of fake.
It was an illusion.
Yeah.
Because it's the same. Strange looks exactly the same. You can see dead trees around.
Yeah, you break the rules. It's fine. I break the rules.
That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. Forget the quote. But yeah, I don't personally, I don't want to see Scarlet Witch go bad.
I do.
But
I want to be awesome.
I think it's perfect for a character arc.
Yes.
But I'm just please stay good. Mm-hmm. Please stay good. You're a good person.
There's there's still White Vision to explore,
I wonder what they're going to do with that.
I'm very curious as well. I feel like we're not going to get anything about him for a while.
No.
Also, throwback to the end of WandaVision where everybody... Well, first of all, Mephisto. Second of all...
I saw some people thinking they saw Mephisto in the trailer.
I'm sure they did.
He's everywhere.
We see, like, whenever Monica and all them is like, I have a contact in the military with some of the best equipment out there. And it's like, Reed Richards, John Krasinski, get him on the screen. It's just some military person in camouflage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. So I hope we get Reed Richards. I hope in the form of John Krasinski, since he's been...
I don't know if he will, but I really hope he will.
At this point, I feel like he's to, like, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire levels of people making posters with him in the suit where it looks real and it just feels like he is Reed Richards.
Do you think Emily Blunt will be Susan Storm?
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to have both of them.
She really trashed on superhero movies at one point.
Well, yeah, because she was supposed to be Black Widow. And then
that's right.
People, what she gets upset with specifically is people who are like, wow, she turned down Black Widow for Gulliver's Travels, and look at her now. But it's like her contract was holding her
film star. She's still doing good.
And it's like she missed out on the MCU in the form of Black Widow.
Yeah, and I guess she didn't really trash it. She was just like, it's not for me. Like, I don't think I'll ever do it. But I guess people can change their minds.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not fully up to speed with, but I hope so. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like the dynamic that they have.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this trailer. I really hope Wong doesn't die.
If he does, we're never talking about the MCU on this show.
Because he's
so great.
Slight spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. He is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Oh, and God. Strange needs to become that again.
No.
I know.
That's untrue.
They're gonna find a way around it. I just know
it's
it.
Like new
Kevin
Feige
Feige has our backs.
There's two Sorcerer Supremes. They're co-hosts for the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's not happening. There's absolutely no way Wong dies.
Anyway,
did you see him in the karaoke with Shang-Chi? So
Wong is the best MCU character.
He's up there, bro.
He is so good. Do you want to move on?
I think so. We're about 30 minutes in.
Yeah, so we should probably move on to our main topic.
I think that should be adequate.
By the way, Doctor Strange, May 28th.
Yeah.
We should be able to review that.
It was supposed to.
Oh yeah.
That's sad. All right. Let's get to the main topic of today. Death on the Nile.
Yes.
New murder mystery.
Branagh.
Isn't it like Branagh or Branagh? It's him.
He's always doing accents in movies.
He's the guy.
Could be.
Cool mustache. Check.
Yes. You have not seen the first one, have you?
I have.
You have.
I watched it this morning.
Oh, okay. So
I watched them out of order, which is the sad part.
The first one a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. I was okay with it. One of my big things about it was I didn't like the reveal of who did it. Because spoilers for the first one. We're not going to spoil the new one. But for Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah. Spoilers starting in 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Okay. So everyone did it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because it felt like a cop-out to me.
I liked it, but I didn't like how they got to it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a decent enough twist where it's like, if you can sell where it's like, dang, any single one of these people can do it, and then you pull the knife out.
It was
like
everyone.
Everyone worked together on it.
I think that is a cool. I guess it is more of the execution, like you said.
I think they need more. Well, first of all, I got confused with the whole Armstrong correlations, because the whole thing with the first one is that everybody on the train had a connection to Daisy Armstrong, and they wanted to avenge her. But there's still characters who I don't know who they are, or the names got jumbled, or they weren't present enough.
That was a big thing for me in Murder on the Orient Express.
Because there's so many characters that you don't really get to think about any of them, which is the best part of murder mysteries, where they let you figure it out yourself. Excluding Knives Out, where in the first third of the movie they tell you who it was, and the rest of the movie changes genre, which is cool, but I feel like a different ballpark.
I feel like it is maybe 2/3 of the way through they tell you who it is.
Well, the first they with Knives Out they tell you who it is, and then they're actually, because it turns into this person thought they did blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. With Death on the Nile, there is a lot less characters.
Yes.
Which does make it easier.
I would say Death on the Nile was a lot more coherent.
Yeah.
And a better mystery than...
Well, I mean...
Not better mystery, but like a better, like, just story.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I keep going back and forth with this movie as to, like, which one I like more. Because I'm going to say this right now. I think Death on the Nile is a better film. But I kind of figured out who did it right away. So we're not even going to say who was murdered. Yes. Because what I do like about
it does say it
movies,
in the IMDb.
They do?
I don't want to say it still because I didn't know until I was doing research for this movie. But it is like, you say your thing because I absolutely agree with what you're about to say.
Yeah, both of these movies, they don't tell you who dies,
right?
So it is kind of a shock.
You just get this big lineup of like characters and cast, and you get a bunch of stars,
and you're going through, so like you get to meet all these characters.
Yes,
and then murder.
And in both of them, I will say, I'm glad they don't like. The entire movie is not the murder mystery.
Yeah, they take their time.
You take like about half the movie is spent learning and meeting and developing the characters.
And I was worried about that, like thinking, are they going to rush like the mystery aspect? And they didn't.
Right.
I thought it was well spent.
Yeah.
But so going through like the beginning of it, I was under the impression that a certain person would be murdered. And thinking of that, I was thinking, it could be any one of these people. And then it was someone else.
Yeah.
And right when I saw the body, I immediately knew who did it, the motives, everything. And so I kind of dampened it because then I was like, well, it can't be you and it can't be you. It's got to be this person.
Right.
And it was still very enjoyable for me. There were times where I thought it could be this person, but I think that is a strength of the first one, where because it was everyone, it keeps you guessing. Yeah, it could be anyone, but at least for me with this, I thought it has to be this one.
Right. I will say that in the second one, I started talking to follow your thought. Whatever I was about to say has completely left my brain.
I guess we can talk about the characters then as you get that back.
I don't think I will, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about. We can talk about our mustache boy to begin.
Yes, Hercule Poirot. I don't know how to pronounce it.
You know what? One of my biggest complaints with this movie and half of the movies we've seen so far is the gosh darn accents that I am too darn American to understand.
For this.
I think I will say I enjoyed Death on the Nile more than Murder on the Orient Express. However, I was able to watch Murder on the Orient Express with subtitles. Yeah. And so every like allons-y or whatever French people say, I was able to understand and read.
For Murder on the Orient Express, I saw in the theater, so I did not get subtitles. Yeah. And there was one part where I kind of like zoned out, and then it felt like I missed everything. Yeah. I was like, I am so lost. I did not get that with this, even though I couldn't really understand all of it. I still got the gist of everything, which is a plus.
I will say this one, like with Murder on the Orient Express, it has this. If you've played Phoenix Wright, then have you played any of the Phoenix Wright games? One of the like big cases talks about a modern like case, and then talks about and the case mimics something that happened in the past, where it attaches to it. It's not quite this, but it just made me think of Phoenix Wright, and I wanted to talk about it. Okay. But anyways, in the first movie, it's this new cast of characters, and slowly, one by one, you discover their connections to this old case.
Yeah, and even then, like when you rule someone out, then they like suddenly come back in the picture. It's like, there's new evidence. With this one, though, it's like once someone is ruled out, they're ruled out.
Everybody in this one is not connected through, like, how do I say it? Like, they develop the connections in front of you. Yeah. They don't have to be like, oh, these people have known each other. And you see that for yourself less than being exposited information. Yeah. Which I felt was better like that. In this movie.
So the basic plot is that Hercule Poirot is on vacation in Egypt, and there is this wedding party with bride and groom, and like all of their like family members, just people coming along, friends and family, and they're on a cruise on the Nile, and then there's a death on the Nile, and Hercule has to figure it out. That's kind of like the plot, just very simplified.
Yeah. Do we want to like spoil anything near the end, or are we gonna go spoilerless for this one?
Maybe like the last 5 minutes.
Okay. But yes, it does, believe it or not, live up to its name. There is in fact a death on the Nile.
We also get some character beats for Hercule that we did not get for the first one.
I didn't
really care for it, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I didn't like those.
Well, I think especially the beginning, like, you get the origins for the mustache.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought I walked into the wrong movie. It's like a completely different setting. Well,
yeah, but because it's black and white, it's like World War I or something. A war. Okay. So I guess one.
It says 1917 in big bold letters. Okay.
I didn't see that part. And you get this guy with a big mustache, and I was like, oh, it's him.
Right. I was like, I'd not seen the first one, and so I was like, I think this is the guy from the trailer.
But then you see Kenneth Branagh as like a young soldier. I don't know if they like de-aged him or something, but he does look young. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be the origins of his mustache, which we do not need.
Oh, too bad. You'll have to watch it to find out why he got his mustache.
His like love's name, like Caroline.
Catherine.
Catherine.
I will also say though, the beginning isn't just like a mustache backstory. It establishes a theme that is relevant throughout the movie. Of love. Yeah, I feel like we can.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was the main function, and then Kenneth Branagh was like, I think it'd be funny.
Because I know you're the researcher, but I did see that none of that like character stuff was in the original books. So Kenneth Branagh was like,
well, no, like
we should do this.
In one of my trivia things, he, in the first one at least, or maybe I was looking through the trivia for the first one out of like funsies. Let's see if it's here. It's probably my first or the first one. I don't care. I'll paraphrase it. He got like backlash because the like people were like, the character in the book doesn't have his mustache isn't that big deal. And he's like, no, they mention it like 6 times. So I want to make a big deal about like how big his mustache was, and I don't know. Apparently, there's a point of contention.
They do make a big deal about the mustache. I thought it was funny.
I like the mustache.
He's sleeping at night at one point.
Yeah, and he's a mustache little.
Yeah,
that's in the first one as well.
No, it's like a mustache case.
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant when like over his eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was just cute little stuff like that. It was funny. So yeah, we have him. We have the husband and wife.
Yes.
Played by
Gal Gadot and
Armie Hammer.
Yes.
Who Armie Hammer has had a lot of very serious allegations, and it was kind of hard to watch this knowing all that stuff about him.
I am less familiar with that. I do the research on the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there was that. We get Letitia Wright, and who is kind of like this bookie, who. How are they connected?
She is the niece.
The niece
of the performer.
Yeah, and a performer who like just performs with them.
I will say the thing this movie has in similar with the first one is I could not tell you the names of anybody except
I do not know the names of anyone.
And Book.
Book.
Anybody else?
You keep saying Book.
Book is
my beloved
great.
Book. I love Book.
I really wish I'd watched the first one before I'd watched the second. That was the
only thing. Yeah, you texted me saying like, "Do I need to know anything?" I'm like,
right.
The only thing you need to know is Book.
Yeah. Whenever I started the second movie, and I knew there was one returning character. How does it start? I thought it was the wife, Catherine. I was like, this is a continuation of the story.
No, it was the
and then there's a guy flying a kite on the pyramids of Egypt, and it's like, hello, and he's like yelling off the top. And
I love how in the first one, he was like, I trust you because there's no way you could have done it.
Yeah.
You're my man, Book.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a good character. And
yeah.
For the cast as general, like just a general consensus. Wow, consensus. Thank you.
I think they did fine.
Yeah, I think it was okay. It had something I did notice that kind of fell off through like halfway through the movie is that the beginning is paced super quickly. I thought the dialogue, the beats between Poirot and anybody else was extremely like, where this is the comedy, it's happening, we're done. I thought that was how it's whole going to be, like a quick, snappy, like detective, like here's the thing, here's the thing, here's the thing, here's the thing, laugh, here's the thing. It does slow down, but it felt like I was if for the first half of the movie, it feels like it's in 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Which
I didn't mind that much.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a huge deal, but it was like exhilarating for nothing happening.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like watching like a lecture, but at 1.5 speed. Let's see. Do you have any other? Do you want to talk about more characters? Because I got trivia. We could talk about. I got budget. We have Rotten Tomatoes for the end.
I wanted to talk a little bit about like the detective work in this. Okay. So in this, it's mainly a lot of interviews.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that is because they used so much of their time developing the characters at first.
Right.
Because in the first one, you were like finding clues with him.
Right.
And they're also with interviews and multiple interviews with like the same people again and again. Whereas in this one, it's like he saw a clue, but then he just brings it up like passively.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's true.
I did feel like I wished they brought more of that from the Murder on the Orient Express, the detective work into this, but I understand why they didn't, because we did get more development for the characters.
Right. That's definitely a good point. The Death on the Nile has a lot more, like the evidence that they have. It's like or whenever they're collecting it, it's like a 5-second montage of crewmates like searching the boat.
The main thing I only remember is just something about bedsheet.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's like the main like clue I remember at all.
It was like, well, there is
other stuff, but it's like it was presented to him.
There is less of
finding it.
I agree. There was less of him finding and discovering like pieces of the puzzle, and more of the pieces of the puzzle
finding
washing
him.
up.
Yeah, or even him like being like a Sherlock Holmes, which is kind of what he's supposed to be, of like looking at people and being like, I know you're a smoker because of this. Like, you just got out of a marriage because there is a tan line on your wedding ring.
Yeah.
And like, there wasn't much of that, whereas it was in Murder on the Orient Express. I also think Murder on the Orient Express was like shot more stylistically.
I agree. However, I will say my expectation for it was a train moving, and when everything's going on, they're stuck in an avalanche.
Well, I just mean like when they found the body.
Oh yeah,
in the first one, how it was like shot from above and things like that. I really liked that. I should know
the name of that by now. I'm an EMB student. My bad. Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it was more shot like conventionally.
I was for a second like in the first film, I thought they just weren't going to show the body.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought they were going to
show it.
They do. And that isn't like another part of the like. The best part of these films is when you finish it and you get the conclusion and you're like, oh,
yeah,
everything keeps like clicking and snapping, and it's like whenever they discover the body in the first one, there's like 12 stab wounds, and you can't tell that they're all like right-handed in the same way. They're not left-handed. It's like it's almost as if it was a different hand stabbing it every time.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh,
because it was. Yeah.
It's like they're just passing around the knife, having a great time.
Yeah. Whereas in this one, like I said, I figured out immediately exactly how they did it. I think I was wrong about one thing, but it was just a minor thing.
For this one,
did you figure it out?
I had my suspicion. However, I don't know. Because I guess we can talk about this more whenever we get to like our little 5-minute spoiler segment at the end.
Yeah.
But what's the best way to word it without like giving clues?
You had an idea, maybe?
Yeah, I had like a suspicion, but it was like I don't think that would actually like that feels like the thing. My suspicion feels like the red herring, where it's like they want to make you think Like, it's so obvious that they're going to come to this conclusion first, and then, boom, big twist, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And they kind of, like, missed the ball there, where I started overthinking it, but then, like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for any type of mystery, like, when you get to the part where the detective or the, like, main character is explaining it, and they have the little montage of what's actually happening.
Yeah.
That's always fun to me. And
I do like stuff like that. And they do that at the end with, like, almost all the characters.
For me, that was really satisfactory.
Yeah.
I think it lived up to... This one had less of, like, oh, okay, than the first movie did. But it was still like a... Like... I can't really talk about it without getting into spoilers. But there's segments of the murder itself that you just don't know about, that they throw in for flavor of, like, oh, like, this person did this thing so that we wouldn't suspect they did this thing. But there's nothing that ever indicates that they did that thing in the first place.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like they threw in some stuff. I liked how, as it progressed, the stakes kind of kept going higher and higher.
I agree.
And whereas in the first one, we keep going back to the first one. But
it might as well just be the...
Yeah, it's a point of comparison, I guess. But in the first one, it was more just people getting upset. Like, come on, like, why don't you just solve this already? But, like, in this one, it's, no, you better solve this soon. Because, like, the stakes are getting up. There's more suspense. And I really appreciate that more.
Right. One of the weird, like, suspension of disbelief issues I had with it was the crew of the boat just randomly hanging appearing out. Like, they didn't have a problem with the murder. They were, like...
They're, like, Poirot's, like, right-hand people.
Exactly.
Like, they are there on the spot. Like, oh, there's been a murder? I guess, like, let's do our routine. Let's search everything.
Exactly.
Like, they've been through it before.
Like, they're a crew for a boat, but, like... Suddenly, they're all, like, detective assistants that have no dialogue other than, like, handing him something at, like, 3 points.
They just randomly appear and disappear.
Yeah.
And they show you the boat. And at some point, I'm like, it can't be that big to store all that that many people.
Right.
But
it's like a whole little crew.
Yeah.
And,
no, it's not even a little crew because they show...
There's probably like 8 people, like 8, 9 people in the crew.
I thought it was like 15, 20 because like there's even like cooks and stuff.
Well, I'm thinking about the scene near the end whenever they're like, you have all the crew lined up on the top deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they do the like little...
Yeah.
For like whatever reason.
Salute.
True, thank you.
Yeah, for listeners, he did a salute.
For our listeners, the only way you can access this, I just saluted because that is what they do in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. There were also some weird lines, like Armie Hammer towards the beginning.
Oh my God!
Oh, I've been naughty.
I want to talk about the choreography.
Weird. Oh
just
yeah.
Like, also not seeing the first one, I was like, what did I miss? If this is what the type of stuff that I'm watching. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's like all kind of on the nose.
Yeah.
And if you've seen like any amount of murder mystery and you know the tropes, you have a decent shot at predicting what's going to happen.
Yeah. Which it is. Part of me like is kind of frustrated with it because of that.
Yeah.
But it's also based on such an old book.
Right.
Whereas when it was written, that wasn't a trope. That was, I mean, I'm guessing like something new. So it feels weird to fault it for that, but they still could have updated it.
Yeah. I think for the most part, though, it was an enjoyable murder mystery. Yeah. I don't know if this is like an ongoing trend for the future, but like this new weird cinematic genre of like modern murder mysteries where we have Knives Out, we have Knives Out 2 coming out.
Yeah.
And then we have this, like, this isn't really a franchise, I guess you can call it yet.
I guess it is, yeah.
Well, I guess you could call it a franchise. I don't know what you would actually call it, though. Because there's not like a Knives Out ring. There's like, you have murder on the thing, death on the thing, and you're going to have
anthology?
Like dying of the whatever, or like, what's another word for murder or death? The killing on...
Yeah, the killing.
Third movie. But
I don't know. I do kind of hope there is a third one because, like, I enjoy this series. It's just not the best series for me.
Right. I think there's a lot more they can do, and I look forward to them pushing it as far as they can.
Oh, yeah.
And I also look forward to Knives Out 2 whenever we got Daniel Craig and gang. Well, not in gang. Daniel Craig and New Gang.
New Gang.
Coming out. And
end of the year.
Is it really this year?
This year.
Dang.
Do you want to go into ratings or your facts?
We can do my facts because I'll just
hit me.
Breeze through them pretty quick. The necklace.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that necklace.
In the movie is actually based on a real Tiffany's yellow diamond. It's like one of the biggest diamonds ever discovered.
Oh, okay. For anyone who doesn't know, there's someone wears a necklace.
Yes.
And it's worth a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That's basically all you need to know.
It is based on a real one that's only been worn in public 4 times.
Wow.
The first one, it was discovered in 1877, but it has only been worn publicly by 4 women. You have Tiffany Ball in 1957 for Tiffany Ball. It was Miss E. Sheldon Whitehouse. There is no pictures because it was like, well, there's pictures in 1957, but I couldn't find any.
Founder of the White House.
Then you have, what'd you say? Excuse me?
Moving
on. It was then you have Audrey Hepburn for Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961. And this is where I begin to have pictures. And again, this is a podcast.
Sorry, listeners.
But Anthony gets to see them. You got Audrey Hepburn. Then you have Lady Gaga and
Lady Gaga wore it?
Beyonce.
Okay, Beyonce gets to do what she wants.
Not Lady Gaga,
she's
though?
Beyonce.
How dare Lady Gaga wear a necklace she thought was pretty? That was also
yeah, you know
so
what?
Many
Lady Gaga deserves it. Lady Gaga's great.
Okay, that was a good character development for you.
Character arc. Well, at first I was just like a pop star, and then I saw Beyonce. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I can see it.
But like that's it. But it's like apparently a really notable like necklace that. Excuse me. A lot of people have worn and such.
Awesome.
There's an Easter egg from the first film. Whenever we first meet Pierrot in Egypt, he's like chilling and he's doing his thing on the table next to him. There's 2 little eggs. Which in the first film, for context,
it's his like breakfast routine.
Twice there are jokes where he has to eat 2, like for breakfast he needs 2 eggs of exactly the same size.
I don't want to say it is, but it seems like it's like OCD.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
That's another fact.
Oh,
it's not like a confirmed thing, but a lot of people do have. Where are you? 1 second. In both this film and Murder on the Orient Express, Pierrot shows signs of being obsessive compulsive. Letitia Wright's character calls him obsessive at one point.
Yeah.
But he definitely has like a need for balance where he like at some point he pushes a foot of a dead person to make it symmetrical.
It is weird how at one point he was like his whole like past character arc was he wants to be a farmer. Yeah. And then because of the death of Catherine, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna solve crime.
Right. That hasn't really been explained.
No.
But
that was a weird subplot. But anyway, any more facts?
Yes. This is another child of COVID movie.
Yes.
It has been delayed a lot.
It was supposed to come out in 2019.
Correct. The first movie came out in 2017, so we're going to have a 2-year gap. It got delayed in filming, so it was pushed to 2020. Then, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, it got pushed around several times until being set for fall of 2021. Then on April 3rd, 2021, it was announced to be delayed again to February 2022 due to the Armie Hammer accusations.
Yes.
Then I have a big paragraph here, which just talks about the changes from the book to this, but it's just about the characters and how they're adapted.
Okay.
I can go through it quickly because it's lengthy, but I don't feel like it's super contextual unless you've either seen it or like have read the book.
Yeah.
But Salome Rosalie, who is the Letitia and the performer, was a romance novelist, and her daughter became a singer, and her niece her manager. Andrew Pennington becomes Cousin Andrew. Oh my goodness!
The cousin.
These names.
Okay.
Yeah. Marie Van Schuyler, a socialite and no relation to Lynette, becomes Lynette's godmother, who has the idea of Mr. Ferguson, the aristocrat turned socialist.
I guess it does make sense to have her be the godmother to give her like a reason to be there.
Right. Let me skim this real quick, make sure there's no spoilers before we get to. I guess it is like it's 4:56. We can.
Yeah. So I guess we can give real quick scores, or do you want to do Rotten Tomatoes first and then scores?
Fine. Let's do Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Tomato meter.
So I'm pretty sure Murder on the Orient Express is like teetering right at like 60, 59% between fresh and rotten.
Interesting.
So I think this is going to be a little bit above.
Okay.
I'm going to go 63%.
63%?
Yes.
Okay.
For audience,
yes,
I think it's going to be higher. Maybe not much higher. 78. 83.
83%?
Final answer, yes.
So we have 63 for tomato and 83 for audience.
Yes.
The tomato meter. 64%.
Ooh. That was close.
The audience score?
Yeah.
83.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Look at this crap.
Should we like, because that's not.
I refreshed it. It's today.
You did? Okay.
That's today.
I promise. I did not look.
It's certainly hard to believe. That's today.
Okay,
Imagine if the tomato meter went down.
I know, 1%.
Wow.
I almost went like 65, and then I was like, no, I think a little lower.
We need to tally like how many points away from what we are and see who's like. You've nailed it like almost every week. You have like a knack for this, bro.
I used to go on Rotten Tomatoes a lot, and I would guess Rotten Tomatoes scores, and I'd be kind of close.
You got a pro Rotten Tomato.
I know, yeah.
Do you want to know the critic consensus?
Sure.
Old-fashioned to a fault, the solidly entertaining Death on the Nile is enlivened by its all-star cast and directors star Kenneth Branagh's obvious affection for the material.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do too. 64%, I would say is kind of low. I'd probably give it like 76, 77%.
I'd give it about a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think a 6 is bad. I think a 6 is a good movie.
It's not Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild.
No.
It's honestly, this is the first like good movie we've had in a while.
Yeah, I think the last one was Scream.
Was this Scream after Kingsman?
It was, yeah. Plus, that was the lost episode that we might be getting out there. Who knows?
You'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, the budget for this film was around $90 million USD.
Yeah.
And it currently has made, in worldwide box office, $36 million. So, if it's out for, like, this is like, what is this, the 6th day that it's been out? Maybe 5th? Came out last Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, around that.
I think it's not a flop completely.
I think especially because with COVID.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised.
This does draw more towards like an elderly crowd.
Yeah.
Especially with COVID, they don't really go out to the theaters.
Right. And the theater I saw it at, they already have like that. It came out 4 days before I'd seen it, and it has 4 showings.
Yeah.
Which I believe off the top of my head is still how many Spider-Man has.
Mm-hmm. And it's been about like 4.5 years since it came out.
Right.
So the odds are against it.
Yes.
So I think it's doing good for what it has.
Otherwise, that's really all I got. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with the movie? Anything else
you want to do like quick spoilers? Because we are almost out of time.
Sure.
We can go over maybe a little bit.
Okay.
So, spoilers.
Yes.
3,
2,
1. So we find out that the murdered was Gal Gadot.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be the husband.
Is it not Gal Gadot? I feel like we've talked about this before. Spoilers.
I think it goes back and forth. I thought it was going to be Armie Hammer.
Same.
And so that's why I thought it could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because like for some of these people don't even know him, so like who cares? Or other people like the jealous ex-fiance,
right?
Or the cousin who's like, I just don't like you. Like you're bad for my cousin, like something like that.
Yeah.
Or even Gal Gadot, like saying I don't even love you. die. And then we find out Gal Gadot is dead. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, so it was most likely Armie Hammer. Oh, I forgot her name, but the person...
Jackie?
Yeah. She's also one of the only people who, like, I know the character name.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the actress' name. She was in Sex Education, which is a good show. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually still in love.
Right.
Because based on, like, all her conversations with Poirot before,
mm-hmm.
and the theme being love.
Yes.
And they both did it. That's why he had a rock-solid alibi.
Mm-hmm.
He actually didn't. But...
Right. And that's where I was talking about with... how like the replay of how the murder happened, they add in things that you didn't know about, but
like
are just kind of flavor text. Right. The third bullet was cool, but we didn't have any inclination to assume otherwise.
Yeah, that's why that's the thing I was wrong about, because I thought she did shoot him,
mm-hmm.
but then she quickly ran up, or even he just like pushed through,
right,
and did it. But no, it was a blank somehow, and he had a squib, and they just made it a lot more complicated.
Stealing the paint was kind of like a...
Yeah, the paint.
I mean, maybe...
I mean, for that, I was like, okay, that does feel like a little bit of cleverness, because they did hint that in, like, throughout the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my red paint? But then I was like, okay, I know what you did and how you did it, just in not that very specific weird aspect.
Right. I mean... Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what like them setting up that trio from the very beginning and the theme of love. It's like, who else is it really gonna be?
Yeah, because the only other one was like the cousin who had like money involved.
Right.
But then immediately Poirot was like, "Okay, it's not you because you have a gun and you wouldn't risk going back and getting another gun, so you're out."
Right. Yeah. The actual murder part of this murder mystery.
Yeah.
But like. Again, still not terrible, I'd say.
I liked how more people were getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
That upped the stakes. Rest in peace, Book. That made me mad.
Oh my god!
And how they made him like kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
And they didn't even try to redeem him.
They did him dirty.
They were like, Book, you suck. Dead. Man,
like,
Book was such a good person.
He stole a necklace. But
not only stole a necklace, he witnessed the murder.
Yeah.
Like 2 murders and said nothing.
Well, you're right. Well, he didn't witness the first murder. He saw her I do want to say, this movie not only lives up to its name once, but 6 times. Once a bird, another like something on the seafloor, and then 4 people die on the boat, which is crazy.
Who was the 4th one?
You got Gal Gadot.
Yes.
You got her like the French assistant.
Yeah.
Like Louis or whatever.
Yeah, I completely forgot about her, and when she died, I was like, wait, who?
You got Book. And then you have, is that 5? That's 7 deaths on the Nile because they kill each other.
The couple.
Or she like
she kills both of them. So that's 5.
Yeah.
Who's the 6 and 7?
There's a bird in one of the scene what's it called? Establishing shots of the boat. There's like an alligator that eats a bird.
Oh yeah.
And then there's they show another one under the water whenever they're fishing, for like the necklace or whatever. And there's like a little like guy on the bottom of the river that gets eaten.
Oh yeah, I remember 7.
They count. They're just as important.
It was so weird how the cousin just tried to kill Gal Gadot earlier in the movie for no reason.
Right.
He was like, I immediately regretted it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. Please, it wasn't me. I'm sorry.
I did try to kill her, but I'm not the murderer.
Glad it missed.
Why'd you try to do it?
Yeah. Go see the movie.
Yeah.
Now that if you're still listening, then you can still see it if you want, but you know what happens.
Unless you have seen it, you'll see it again. Who knows? I don't know. Next week,
all right.
We have.
What do we have?
Uncharted.
Really? That's already out?
Yeah. It comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this movie.
I'm not.
I don't think it'll be amazing, but I think it'll be fun.
I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm afraid that it's going to just be Tom Holland playing Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Wahlberg being Mark Wahlberg.
Have you played the games?
No.
Okay.
So I don't have the authority to say what I'm saying right now. But I have seen pictures. of the characters. And I've seen pictures of Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg.
To be fair, they are trying to cast young so it can be a franchise.
They're trying to cast who?
Young.
Oh. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll just be some fun. You kind of have to.
I guess. I don't. This could be the one.
It's gonna be. We get one movie a year where we just do not
don't watch it.
We should do that.
We'll do that for Clifford too.
No.
Do you want to be really funny?
What?
I don't know if I'll say. I don't think we'll actually do it, but I'm gonna save that for off mic.
Yeah. Okay. Do it off camera.
Yes. All right. But you can find us at
That's a Wrap NCR on Instagram.
That is where you'll find most of our updates. See what's going on.
Go check it out.
Yeah. Otherwise, join us next week for Uncharted, and until then,
that's a wrap.